Insiders. Meghan Markle literally hates us, but she still wants our money. No, no, no. Another day, another business failure from Meghan, but she's trying to spin it like she's testing new products, like she didn't want a multi-billion-pound brand that everyone loved and bought. No, no, no. I can see right through this. And she is picking out some little tools from the PR damage limitation box to try and fool you. Now, you remember that I said Meghan Markle was set to join Kamala Harris, Selena Gomez, and more at Fortune's Most Powerful Women Summit. All I can say is the bar must have been incredibly low for this, aside from Selena Gomez, who I do think is rather sweet. But we have Meghan turning up for a performative little picture opportunity where she is sat talking about jam, her business, and it not working. So I want to show you a clip because this is insane that this is happening, that they truly thought they should have her on this. How disrespectful to entrepreneurs and people like Victoria Beckham, who I know wasn't on there, but she's a proper entrepreneur who has done the graft, who has put the time in, who has put the work in, and who has not just received a multi-million pound brand overnight. She has failed in the public before. She has learnt from that. And that is what makes you a great entrepreneur. Any entrepreneur will tell you, tell me that it has not always been plain sailing and they have probably failed more times than they have succeeded. But here with Meghan, we have her yet again not holding herself accountable for any of the failures, not holding herself accountable to be judged in the real world because she turns the comments off on social media. And then she's wheeling out some silly politician's line about doing what's right for her, her family, and the community. Who is in this community? I don't know. You don't know because I don't think these people really exist, just in my opinion. So let's have a look at this clip. It is just take a breath, guys. It's a little bit cringe.
From obviously the not constructive that you need to ignore?
Well, there are certain things that I've done just for my own self-preservation, but also that I've applied to the brand and for the people that are incredibly supportive. I know.
Who are they? Who are these people that are buying this jam and this wine that are white labeled? And that is not an entrepreneurial brand. It is a brand that has contacts that can call someone, I would argue, and get a label stuck on it. Continue.
You know, the question can be around naysayers, but if you really see the groundswell of support that surrounds the brand and
You what? Groundswell of support? You're not living in the real world, Meghan. You're not living in the same world as us, Poppet. And you know why you're not? Because you've taken your comments off. I have my comments on, and I've had some trolls alert me to some things like I have the biggest chin they've ever seen, and I'm a little bit jowly, and I'm very like Bridget Jones. It is what it is. It's part of putting yourself out there. But I would like to just say to the trolls, I am aware I'm very like Bridget Jones. I've been told that for years and I actually don't take it as an insult. I think it's a compliment. Continue.
me, that's what I feel the most and that's what I appreciate. But by design, I also recognize that a lot of those people aren't going to my page to see negativity. And so
Oh, so here we have it, Meghan. You want to control the narrative everywhere. So, not just in the press, but you want to control the narrative in your brand. So, if someone buys something from your brand and has a bad experience, a bad customer experience, you don't want them sharing that. Okay. I think that is very unfair on people because part of the beauty of social media is it's actually given normal people a platform whereby their voice finally matters. For too long, it has just been celebrities that have access to speak out and air opinions. And so Meghan ultimately has fury that we, the public, can air our opinions that may not be in line with her airbrushed narrative. Continue.
not just protecting myself or the people that work with me, but also the supporters. So I don't have the comments section on. That's a choice. And yet
That's only ever a choice made by people that do not want to hear the truth. Anyone following me in the UK will know that Sadiq Khan, our Mayor of London, does not have the comment section on. Why doesn't he have the comment section on? Because not many people like him and he's doing a terrible job. That's why. Now, before we continue, please like, comment, subscribe, share, and all that jazz. I would be so appreciative because I'll tell you what, this is the second time I've recorded this video because the bloody mic wasn't on at the start.
Part of that challenge that I was trying to solve for was, then how do I create community?
Right. When people buy jam or when people buy wine, I I feel very strongly that I can confirm those people are not looking for community. When I go and I buy my strawberry jam to have on my toast, I'm not going to buy that jam and thinking, I want to make a friend. No, I'm going to think I want to have a sugar spike when I wake up and put a thick load of jam on my white toast that's unhealthy. And that's where my thought ends on the jam. I don't drink alcohol, but if I buy alcohol for my husband, my husband is not looking to be part of some community when he drinks a craft beer. He just wants to have it at a weekend and relax. The last thing he's thinking about is creating a community, going online. Oh, am I going to see a negative comment? I don't want to see that. A hurty comment if I buy this beer and go on their Instagram. What is she on about?
So key to this brand, and it's so key to how I like to show up in the world. How do we actually connect?
Right, and here we have it. This absolute woke tripe. Show up in the world. What are you on about, woman? She's taken the space, and this is what really annoys me. She's taken the space on this summit of probably a woman that has sold her house, self funded her brand, seen her children limited amount of time because she's probably working 3 jobs to fund a brand. But oh no, Grifty McGrifterson, who hates the public, I would argue, and just wants their money. She's turned up in a little outfit that copies Victoria Beckham, and she is just talking out of her bottom.
If you can't have comments and exchange. So my social media manager would send me screen grabs of different things that people were posting in their UGC.
You've just got to feel for that social media manager, haven't you? She's obviously been given some warning, like, don't let Meghan see what people actually think. Like, they're probably sat there setting up burner accounts to send fake comments in. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, oh, we love the jam, it's great. And then Meghan sat there writing little notes back. And the social media manager's probably like, just forward that to the Hotmail account, we never check.
And I said, okay, what am I going to do here? They said, you could do a text overlay and respond. And I said, oh no, in the same way that on my own camera roll at home, I'll zoom in and I can scribble a little note and send it to a friend. I've just started this construct where I will.
Oh, what is this? So basically, okay, all it is that she doesn't want negative comments and she's paying someone to make sure she only sees the good comments. And it's what politicians do. They just word salad us and they think we will forget. We remember what the question was, Meghan, and the question ultimately is, why do you not have your comments on? But now we've got words like, there's a groundswell of support, constructs, what's right for me and my family. What? This has nothing to do with the question.
Start writing in my handwriting a note to users who put up content. So I said, let's find small and creative ways to engage the community and let them know that I'm listening, that I really see and appreciate their feedback.
But you don't appreciate their feedback, you're lying, because if you appreciated their feedback, you'd have the comments on, and you are now gaslighting people because you are pretending the reason you don't want the comments on is to protect the community. But I will say it again, people that are buying white label jam are not buying white label jam to be part of a community. They just like jam.
So I think a lot of it is just designing what works best for you, while also being really cognizant of what is going to help grow the business with an intentional and authentic point of view. And that's what I'm constantly working to try to achieve.
I mean, okay, so typical PR tactic. You're asked a very simple question. All politicians do this. And instead of actually answering the question, you just deflect it, you throw in a few big words, and you create word salad. That is what Meghan Markle consistently does. This is where she goes wrong as well. If she'd have just said, I can't handle the negative comments, I find that they spiral my mental health and I can't take them with a pinch of salt, and then I end up focusing on them too much. And people would then see, okay, Megan, I kind of get that. But this is something we never see. We never see her take accountability. We never see her accept any form of failure. And failure is not a bad thing. But failing to acknowledge failure is a bad thing. And we're in narcissistic territory there. Just saying. So then we have TMZ. I'm not a fan of, by the way. That's why I haven't pulled directly from them. But because they're Rupert Murdoch owned, and I do not think they are ethically good. But for the point of this video, I have pulled someone's tweet up. So King Billy says, breaking. TMZ is now reporting that Meghan Markle has decided to phase out as ever and go into fashion, and that her new company will be called Ocean Pacific to identify with her love of California. TMZ also reports that trademark paperwork has already been submitted. Oh, another business, another one. And you have heard me say this before, Meghan Markle's businesses clearly to me are all launched through the pursuit of massaging her ego. There is no business acumen that is actually applied to the logic of any of this. You only have to look at everything that has failed. And instead of taking on board what people say, oh, she can't because she's blocked everyone's comments. Oh, that'll be why. She is living in an echo chamber where evidently she is only listening to people that she is paying. And having been in circles where I've been on the payroll for celebrities, very rarely do people actually speak up because they will often lose their job unless you are a celebrity that is grounded and you are employing people to actually be honest with you. Most people are just thinking, I want that paycheck at the end of the month because I don't want to get fired for just saying what's obvious. So here we have Meghan that has employed a social media manager to, I guess, just post approved pictures because there's no comments. So there can't be that much activity. And I would also point out that I think that Meghan Markle knows she cannot hide from the stats. The stats in this day and age are a true barometer of interest when you are in a position like Meghan. And so we've seen with Netflix that it absolutely bombed. And you can't argue with that. There's no Meghan Markle fan that can say Netflix was a success. So a clear indication of interest on Instagram is not just to look at the comments, but it's the shares, the reposts, everything like that. When you remove the ability that people have to comment, not only are you removing their right as potentially someone who has bought into your brand and bought your products, you're removing their right to share their public experience on your forum. Why? Do you not believe in your products? Is that why? Do you know people don't like them? I don't know, like Meghan, tell us something. And you are removing the ability for us to see what the engagement is, because if people can't comment, they're only left with the like or the scroll button. So I think that's a very interesting maneuver she's done to try and control the narrative and also to remove the public's ability, because she is furious, in my opinion, that people don't like her and she does not want to give that space. So this is something that I found, which I thought was so funny as well. It just shows the inconsistencies and the griftiness. Queen Esther has said, Meghan Markle in 2021 on Oprah, I nearly lost my name. There's a loss of identity. I mean, most people lose their name when they get married. I've got a different name now. Didn't lose sleep over it though. Meghan Markle in 2025 on With Love, Meghan. It's so funny you keep calling me Meghan Markle. I'm a Sussex now. identity crisis much. The only thing she's consistent about is being inconsistent and her victim narrative. And you know what? I absolutely agree with this. And let's just pull up this clip because it's hilarious.
There's the loss of identity.
I don't think anyone in the world knows that Meghan Markle has eaten Jack in the Box
It's
and
so
loves
funny
it.
too that you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know I'm Sussex now.
Yes, we know. Thank you for the reminder, Meghan. So this is what I want to say to you insiders. Like, comment and subscribe if you will. I would be most grateful. But what I wanted to say is if you are buying into celebrities, if they want you to buy a lip gloss or a hairband or send you their silly discount code for some vitamins that probably don't work, it is fine to buy into a celebrity's brand. But that celebrity or that person, they need to work hard to get your money and to get your respect. And they need to prove to you that buying into that brand is better than buying a competitor's brand. And this trust is built over years. And we see Victoria Beckham has worked and grafted her butt off for years. She's failed in the public. She has won in the public, but she has been consistent and she's shown up. And that woman does the side of business that doesn't get promoted, you know, the late nights, the thinking on her feet, the traveling around the world and not in a glamorous way, you know, meeting with her teams. And what Victoria Beckham did when she was testing her brand, which Meghan Markle has never done, Victoria licensed her brand and certain products in specific regions. So she would go over to Japan or she would go to Germany, she would go over to the UAE, and she would do endorsements or licensing agreements just in that area. And it worked really well because then after, you know, years and years of doing this, Victoria knew what she wanted her brand to be. She knew where the market interest was, how it differed from region to region. This is a true entrepreneur. And so whilst I wouldn't buy Victoria Beckham's clothes purely because I'm a size 12 to 14 and they probably wouldn't fit me and they're out of my budget, but I would buy her makeup because I think, you know what, you've earned your stripes. And I love this. Like, I want to support other women that are doing great work, but I'm not supporting other women that haven't put the groundwork in. And Meghan Markle has not, because we see launch after launch. It is a business driven by ego. And her and Harry, they seem incapable of doing the actual work that goes into these businesses, these charities, these foundations. You cannot just show up and expect people to part with their money. We are in a tough economic climate around the world. And insiders, you need to keep your money in your back pocket. You only part with that when that person has proved to you that their product is worth your money. So I want to read you a piece as well. Let's just pop Meghan up on the stage. Okay, so this is a piece on the Mail, and it says Meghan Markle has hinted at plans to release short social media videos featuring recipes as she lectured at Fortune's Most Powerful Women Summit. The Duchess of Sussex discussed life as a high-profile business founder. That's a lie. You're not a business founder. Anyone could be a business founder, okay? You go to company's house, you set up a business. I think it costs £49. So let's just not be using silly words that have no meaning for this because it's actually disrespectful to all female entrepreneurs. So, taking to the stage at the Salamander DC Hotel, Meghan outlined her plans to leverage her significant influence to build a successful, long-lasting business empire since launching her lifestyle brand as ever earlier this year. Okay, I go back to my point. It's not a lifestyle brand, is it? It's white labeled jam, edible flowers, and white labeled wine. And it's actually deeply offensive to many, many entrepreneurial women that probably have created their own condiments and have worked 3 jobs to fund a business that they genuinely believe in because they are not grifters. When asked if there would be a 3rd season of her cooking series, the Duchess replied, "Well, the holiday special is coming out in November and it's a really good one." We'll be the judge of that. So we're able to say 8 episodes for 2 seasons. That's a lot of work. Okay, Megan, it's not really a lot of work, is it, when the team is vast that's working on it? You have a rented house that's a set, someone has planted a fake allotment. You are not doing a lot of work when you are booking people that no one else would want on their show, like Chrissy Teigen, who is a bully. And you are actually selling toxicity to working mothers all around the world who are spinning many plates, and are not able to have a pristine house because, oh, we live in the real world and we're real women and real mothers. So I shall continue. Where are we? And having done Suits for 7 years, I remember what goes into production, how much people want content in different sizes. So, what we're testing out now, it's amazing to be able to sit and watch a show for 30 minutes. But how can I give you a recipe in 2 minutes and be able to share that with you, and how that continues to grow as ever? Right. This obviously means there's a cookbook coming or some kind of silly book. That this is a common tactic celebrities will do. They will launch, will repackage. Sorry, here we go. You know, I'm not very good at the tech side, guys. I'm trying to get better. And then they will basically put that show in book format, add a few more bits, and then say, oh, can I have another £14.99? Or can I have another $20? No, no, you can't. We're fed up of giving grifty celebrities that have not put the work in money. And Meghan can dress this up all she likes, that she's doing this social media for, these boundaries for her family. No, she just doesn't want to see what people in the real world think. But oh, our money's good enough for you, isn't it? You want our money, but you don't want our opinions. No, thank you. So, on that note, insiders, you keep that money in your back pocket that you have worked for. You don't give it to a celebrity until they have proved they are worthy of it. And Meghan, she'll never see this video, will she? Because it doesn't get through the approval process of her team, who are evidently employed just to feed fake news into her about how much everyone loves as ever. But remember, if you're buying jam, you're not looking to be part of a community, are you? You're just looking to put a sugary little snack on a piece of bread. And that is it. And that, I'm afraid, is why your business will never work, Meghan Markle. Bye bye, insiders. Let me end the stream. Have a lovely day and like, comment, and subscribe.